In today's video, I'm going to be forging a chef's knife. This knife is part of a set that I'm working on. The set's going to have a Santoku chef's knife and a paring knife. So here I'm measuring out about 1.5 inches, marking that on the anvil. That's where I'll set the piece of steel down to get the preform for the Tang for the knife. The piece of steel I'm using is 1095 by 1.25 inch wide, 1/4 inch thick, 5.5 inches long. And the first step that I'm taking is just to set up a preform. So I want to preform the Tang, and once I get that, I'll square off one of the corners for the tip. And once I have that preform done, then I can start drawing out the steel to make the blade. So now I've got the Tang set down to it's about 1 inch wide now, and I'm moving over to the tip, and I'm just going to knock in that corner. So at this point, I felt like that I had pretty much got the preform where I wanted it to be, and I was going to move to start drawing out the blade. I'm using the peen side of the hammer here, and I'm hitting that with the peen side parallel with the length of the blade. And what I'm trying to do is just stretch the steel out and make it wider. So since this is a chef knife, I want it to be somewhere 1.25 to 2 inches wide, and the piece I'm starting with is only 1.25 inch wide. So using that peen side of the hammer and just trying to focus down the center line of the blade will stretch that out width-wise more than it will lengthwise. So I'm trying to get that width up to close to 2 inches or so before I start drawing the length out. So now I've got the blade width up to about 2 inches where I wanted it to be, and now I can start drawing the length of the blade, and I'm using the horn part of the anvil to do that. There's a smaller surface area on the horn, and laying the blade perpendicular across that horn will have a tendency to sort of pinch the steel and make it draw out more lengthwise. Size of blade I'm shooting for is like 6 1/4 to 7 inches long, so I've got the other side of the anvil marked with that length, and I'm just trying to draw it out to that length at this point. So here I'm using the peen side of the hammer again, but I'm trying to focus my blows on the bottom portion of the blade. So from the center line, between the center line and the edge, and I'm really just trying to start forming a bevel and decreasing the thickness of that part of the blade. So I wasn't really happy with the shape of the tip at this point. I think I didn't put in enough taper when I did my preform. So I spent several heats just trying to refine the shape of that tip. So once I got that tip shaped a little better, and I was a little more happy with it, I could flip it around and start drawing out the Tang. So the area between the heel and the Tang is a little sloppy after the forging, and I'm just trying to set that back with the P inside of a hammer, and I'm really just trying to get that angle between the blade and the Tang a little bit closer to 90 degrees. So I'm locking it up in the vise and peening that back with the hammer. Yeah, so I struggled a little bit with the tongs, not wanting to stay on the tip of that blade, and had to scoop them way up onto the blade to even get them to stay on there. I need to get a better set of tongs for holding the tip of that kind of blade. At this point, I've about got all the forging work done, and really just trying to get everything straight, get a straight line along the back side of the knife on the spine, straight down the tang, looking for any variations in thickness. Try to get it everything the same thickness and get it straight as I can get it before having to do any grinding on it. And here I'm just sighting down the blade. Anywhere I see a little bend or change in different thickness, 1 or 2 hits with the hammer, sight down the blade and make sure I've corrected it and have a finished Santoku chef knife. And I'll follow up this video with another one, a part 2, and I'll be doing the heat treating and putting the handle on and making a finished set. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.